Space has always been a place of mystery, but some astronauts who've been there choose to stay silent about their experiences. What could be so extraordinary, or perhaps unsettling, that they refuse to talk about it? In this video, we'll journey into the unknown, exploring the reasons behind this cosmic silence and uncovering the secrets that lie beyond our planet. What they've seen and felt might just change the way you look at the universe forever. Some astronauts, after returning from space missions, choose to remain silent about their experiences. This post-mission silence often involves avoiding interviews and sharing fewer details about their time in space. The reasons behind this silence can be complex and varied. For some, the decision to avoid interviews is a personal choice. They may feel that the profound experiences they had in space are difficult to put into words. Space is a unique and overwhelming environment, unlike anything on Earth. The vastness of the universe, the isolation, and the beauty of our planet from above can leave a deep impact. Astronauts might find it challenging to convey these feelings to others, leading them to avoid interviews and public discussions. Additionally, some astronauts may choose silence to protect their mental well-being. Space missions can be incredibly demanding, both physically and emotionally. Returning to Earth and facing constant questions about the experience can be overwhelming. By avoiding interviews, astronauts can take the time they need to process their experiences and readjust to life on Earth. This period of silence allows them to reintegrate into their daily lives without the added pressure of public scrutiny. Moreover, the avoidance of details might also be due to the classified nature of some missions. Certain aspects of space missions, especially those involving national security or sensitive technology, are kept confidential. Astronauts may be bound by non-disclosure agreements or other restrictions that prevent them from sharing specific details. This secrecy can contribute to the post-mission silence, as astronauts must be cautious about what they reveal to the public. Space is a vast, incomprehensibly large place. It's hard to understand the sheer scale of it from the surface of Earth. For astronauts, this becomes starkly clear. The view from space is unlike anything on Earth. It's overwhelming in the most literal sense. The size and emptiness of space can be hard to process. Many astronauts describe feelings of awe and isolation. The sheer scale of the universe can make them feel incredibly small and alone. This feeling can be difficult to articulate or even process. The disconnect between life in space and life on Earth is profound. Astronauts experience extreme conditions. Microgravity affects every aspect of their daily lives. Even simple tasks become challenging. The body adapts, but the mind struggles to keep up. The constant hum of machinery and the confined living quarters can create a sense of claustrophobia. The lack of natural light and the constant artificial environment can disrupt sleep and mood. These factors combine to create a unique psychological burden. Some astronauts report feeling a deep sense of detachment from Earth. They describe looking down at their home planet and feeling a profound sense of disconnection. This phenomenon, known as the overview effect, can be both exhilarating and unsettling. It's a struggle to explain the feeling to those who haven't experienced it. The beauty and fragility of Earth from space can be overwhelming. It's a sight that changes people. Yet, putting that experience into words is incredibly difficult. Many astronauts find it hard to convey the depth of their emotions. They might try to describe the colors, the atmosphere, the stars, but the true impact of the experience often remains locked inside them. In the vast expanse of space, astronauts witness phenomena that often go unrecorded in official reports. These unshared observations, though not part of the formal narrative, offer intriguing glimpses into the mysterious and the unexplained. For instance, some astronauts have reported seeing unusual lights or objects that defy conventional explanation. These sightings, often dismissed as mere illusions or equipment malfunctions, remain on the periphery of official documentation. One such example is the description of space anomalies that some astronauts have encountered. These anomalies, often described as bright, fast-moving lights or strange shapes, do not conform to known celestial bodies or spacecraft. Astronauts have occasionally mentioned these observations in private conversations or personal journals, but they rarely make it into official reports. The reasons for this omission can vary, ranging from a lack of empirical evidence to the desire to avoid sensationalism. Additionally, there are moments of profound personal experience that astronauts may choose not to share publicly. The sheer isolation and vastness of space can evoke intense emotional and psychological responses. Some astronauts have described feeling a deep sense of awe or even existential dread when confronted with the cosmos. These personal observations, though significant, are often left out of official reports, which tend to focus on technical and scientific data. Moreover, there are instances where astronauts observe natural phenomena that are not yet fully understood by science. For example, some have reported seeing unexplained atmospheric disturbances or unusual energy fluctuations. These observations, while fascinating, are often left unrecorded because they do not fit neatly into existing scientific models. As a result, these moments remain anecdotal, shared only among astronauts and a few trusted colleagues. The scientific community, often perceived as a bastion of logic and reason, can sometimes harbor an unexpected pressure, the fear of ridicule. This fear can be particularly palpable among astronauts, who often find themselves at the intersection of cutting-edge science and public fascination. The pressure to adhere to the rigid standards of scientific culture can be intense. Astronauts, like all scientists, are trained to prioritize empirical evidence and tangible results. Any deviation from this norm, especially when discussing the ethereal and sometimes indescribable experiences of space, can lead to skepticism or ridicule from peers. This stems from a deeply ingrained cultural expectation within scientific circles to maintain objectivity and avoid subjective or mystical interpretations. For instance, an astronaut might have a profound, almost spiritual experience while gazing at Earth from the International Space Station. Describing this experience in vivid, emotional terms might be met with eye rolls or dismissive comments. The scientific culture often discourages such narratives, favoring instead dry, factual reports. This pressure can lead astronauts to shy away from sharing their personal experiences, fearing that their colleagues might dismiss them as unscientific or overly emotional. The fear of being labeled as not serious or not objective can be a powerful deterrent. Moreover, the peer review process, a cornerstone of scientific culture, can exacerbate this fear. Astronauts who wish to publish their experiences or insights might face scrutiny from reviewers who prioritize quantitative data over qualitative observations. This can make it difficult for astronauts to share their unique perspectives, as they might feel that their work will not be taken seriously. The result is a culture of silence, where astronauts may choose to keep their most intriguing observations to themselves rather than risk ridicule or dismissal. This pressure within the scientific culture can stifle open dialogue and prevent the sharing of valuable insights that could enrich our understanding of space and its effects on human perception. Space is an awe-inspiring yet isolating environment. Astronauts often experience profound emotional changes upon returning to Earth. Anxiety and withdrawal are common, albeit less discussed, after effects of space travel. These emotions stem from the drastic shift from the unique, controlled environment of space to the familiar yet overwhelming sensory inputs of Earth. The vast emptiness of space, the silence, and the isolation can create a sense of tranquility. Coming back to the constant noise, crowds, and chaos of Earth can feel overwhelming. Astronauts may also experience withdrawal from the intense camaraderie and shared purpose found in a space crew. The close-knit bonds formed during missions can make reintegration into everyday life challenging. Some astronauts find it hard to connect with people who haven't shared their extraordinary experience. This can lead to feelings of detachment and loneliness. The struggle to readjust to normal life can be compounded by the difficulty of explaining their experiences to others. It's not just the physical readjustment that's tough, it's the emotional and psychological shift as well. Anxiety can manifest in various ways. Some astronauts report feeling a sense of dread or unease in crowded places. The open skies and vast horizons of Earth can feel oppressive after the confined, predictable environment of a spacecraft. Others may experience panic attacks or heightened stress levels. The body's circadian rhythms can also be disrupted, leading to sleep disturbances and further exacerbating anxiety. These symptoms can be severe enough to interfere with daily life, making it difficult for astronauts to return to their pre-mission routines. The withdrawal symptoms can be equally challenging. Some astronauts describe feeling a profound sense of loss, almost like mourning. They miss the unique perspective and sense of purpose that came with their time in space. This can lead to a period of adjustment, where they struggle to find meaning in their daily lives back on Earth. The withdrawal isn't just about the physical environment, but also about the sense of community and shared mission that is so integral to space travel. Without that structure, some astronauts feel adrift, trying to find their way back to a sense of normalcy. Official explanations for some astronauts' reluctance to discuss their experiences often revolve around the immense stress and trauma they may have encountered. Space is an incredibly hostile environment. It's not just the physical challenges, but also the psychological toll that can make some astronauts hesitant to talk about their time in space. The isolation, confinement, and distance from Earth can lead to feelings of detachment and stress. These factors can make readjusting to life on Earth difficult. Moreover, the training and mission itself can be incredibly demanding, both physically and mentally. Astronauts often have to make split-second decisions that could mean the difference between life and death. This high-stakes environment can leave lasting impressions. Trauma narratives also play a significant role. Some astronauts may have witnessed or experienced events that were profoundly disturbing. For instance, the loss of a crew member or a close call with disaster can leave deep emotional scars. These experiences can be difficult to process and even harder to talk about. Additionally, the physical effects of space travel, such as muscle atrophy and bone density loss, can serve as constant reminders of the trauma. This can make it challenging for astronauts to move on and discuss their experiences openly. The psychological impact of space travel is not to be underestimated. It's a complex issue that involves a mix of fear, anxiety, and stress. Furthermore, the transition back to Earth can be a significant source of stress. After months or even years in space, astronauts often struggle with reintegration. The sights, sounds, and sensations of Earth can be overwhelming after such a long period of isolation. This can lead to feelings of disorientation and anxiety. Additionally, the media scrutiny and public attention can add to the stress. Astronauts may feel pressure to present a certain image or to downplay their experiences. This can make it difficult for them to be open and honest about their time in space. The combination of these factors can make some astronauts choose to remain silent about their experiences. It's a complex issue that involves a mix of physical, psychological, and social factors. Across various space missions, a notable pattern has emerged: the repeated silence from different crews when they return to Earth. This silence isn't due to a lack of interest or experience. Rather, it's often a profound response to the incomprehensible and overwhelming nature of space. For instance, some astronauts have described space as a place that defies human language. They return with a sense of awe and humility that words can't capture. This isn't a rare occurrence. It happened across different missions, with astronauts from various backgrounds and cultures. They've all struggled to express the full impact of their experiences. Consider the case of astronauts from Apollo missions. They, too, often found themselves at a loss for words. Their silence wasn't due to a lack of communication skills. It was a response to the sheer magnitude of what they had witnessed. This pattern isn't limited to the past. Even today's astronauts, with advanced technology and better communication tools, have reported similar feelings. It's not just the visual splendor of space that leaves them speechless. It's the overall experience, the isolation, the vastness, the perspective it offers on Earth and humanity. They often return with a changed worldview. This is a common thread across missions. It's a silence born out of a deep, personal transformation, one that's hard to put into words. The phenomenon of some astronauts refusing to discuss their experiences in space has puzzled many. The consistency of this avoidance across different individuals and missions is particularly intriguing. It's not just a few isolated cases. There's a pattern that spans decades and involves astronauts from various countries and space agencies. This consistency raises questions about the underlying reasons. Are they bound by some unspoken agreement? Is it a psychological coping mechanism? Or is there something about the space experience that's too profound or disturbing to put into words? Consider the case of Apollo astronauts who, despite their initial enthusiasm, became notably tight-lipped about their experiences. This behavior wasn't due to a lack of communication skills or reluctance to share achievements. Instead, it seemed to be a response to something they encountered in space. Similarly, some astronauts from more recent missions have also shown reluctance to discuss certain aspects of their time in space. This isn't a matter of them avoiding specific questions. Rather, it's a general avoidance of discussing the experience at all. It's as if there's a collective understanding among them that some things are better left unsaid. The consistency of this avoidance is also notable because it cuts across cultural and linguistic barriers. Astronauts from different backgrounds, with different training and experiences, exhibit the same reluctance. This suggests that the reasons for their silence are deeply rooted in the experience of space itself, rather than in cultural or institutional influences. It's a phenomenon that transcends individual differences and speaks to a universal aspect of the human experience in space. This consistency makes the question of why they refuse to talk all the more pressing. What could be so universal and so profound that it leaves even the most eloquent astronauts at a loss for words? As we wrap up our exploration of why some astronauts chose to stay silent about their experiences, remember, It's not just about the stars and the cosmos, but the profound impact they can have on the human spirit. If you've ever felt a sense of wonder looking up at the night sky, you're not alone. Many have felt the same, and it's this shared curiosity that connects us all. So next time you gaze at the heavens, think about the astronauts who've been there and the stories they carried back with them. And if you're hungry for more cosmic mysteries, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Together, let's keep exploring the universe, one story at a time.